Alan.
Alan, what's going on?
So when you were saying to find the finish line, once I get going, will this come up, illuminate, or do I have to go back?
It will be, no, you'll see it like if you
On
go
here.
to the, yeah, exactly.
So I just hit, that'll illuminate once I
Yep.
start moving, and I can just touch it when I go. Okay.
Yep. Go to track mode for me, TR, and double click the center, Sport 1. Got it. So yeah, you're already recording, so good.
Okay.
Up, I can see you. Perfect. All right, we'll be rolling out here shortly. Make sure you start the recording now, and then you can define your finish line on our warm-up lap when we get onto that back straight there before we go into 5. All right, guys, go ahead and release those parking brakes. We're going to roll on out. Single file again. Watch for pedestrians as we leave here. We're going to start with Levi behind me, followed by Paul, and then Alan. Once again, make sure the window's up, make sure you have the PDR on, make sure you have your rev match on if that's what you're using there. And we're going to go back out to our west track here. Nice session. Let's start really working on our visual scanning skills. I like to bring that home for you guys. I wouldn't be very professional if I wasn't correcting it on you. Let's use that proper hand position at the 3 and 9. Don't want to see any of those up at 12 o'clock there. And let's practice the long light braking. Don't try to bury me into a corner. I'm not going to run away from you. It's not my job. My job is to get you a little bit faster. So let's work on being smooth. Conditions aren't that good right now. It's only 44 degrees. There's not a lot of grip. As always, we do a warm-up lap, and then we start to heat up the pace after that. Let's find the available grip in the car and use that accordingly. So we're monitoring conditions at this moment. All right, let's work on that proper spacing as well. Let's get everybody out here onto the track, get our proper spacing. About 5 car lengths is good. And then we'll just start to pick up the pace as we go. First lap here, let's warm up. Define those finish lines on the back straight there before 5. Use that apex of 4. Start to come all the way out to the edge here. You make that gear selection. Go ahead and define your finish line. Then we start the long light braking. Get your downshifting done. Remember, all right, now start looking left. We don't need the windshield at this point. Look left, trust that peripheral vision. We start at mid-track and just bring that car right on down to that apex. Very nice. And then from mid-track, we come into our apex here, right? And then lighten along on the brakes all the way to apex. 7, 8, and then 9 here. Back to brake. Looking right. Out of that right side window, look all the way down that straightaway. Let your peripheral vision carry you to that apex. And start to unwind. Roll back into power. Now at your turn-in cone here is where we turn in, we just lift off that throttle, breathe, set that front end, get some traction on it. So it'll turn into the apex, and then we go back to throttle, making that gear selection back up to 4th as we come up to the top of the hill here, 4-1. So at your turn-in, you initially come in about that white line center track, and then we just bring it right on down to the inner line, hug that to the apex. Unwind just to about mid-track here, bringing it back left and back to the brakes, getting that downshift. Now under braking, look right for me. Look at that. You can see all the way through 1 and 2 here, so 2 up to 3, I should say. Now look for that dirt mound out in the distance. Get the nose of the car pointed right towards it so it comes down the drop to that apex. That visual reference out there and that big dirt mound will help you a lot. Alright, let's work on it as we approach 5 here. Long and light on the brake. Get that downshift. So downshifting and braking slows the car down, and then light and long on the brake carries us to the apex. A little bit of maintenance throttle will help us get there, so we're not accelerating, we're maintaining the speed what we have, and then as you unwind, out of 5. Now hug this white line and just let it fall away from you. As you start looking left, you can see your apex. Just bring your hands right down into it with a little bit of brake balance. And then from mid-track back into apex right here. And then brake balance all the way in here for 8. Back to brake, start looking right. Look all the way through that passenger window. Look all the way down that back straight. We come into 10, just breathe off the throttle, let the car turn to the apex, and after the apex, roll back into power. And light and long on the brake. Light and long, balance all the way in mid-track, bring it down to the seam, looking left. Look for your apex there, Levi. Bring it down in there. Unwind, back to power. Back to brake, and look out that passenger window. All the way through for me, up to 2. Brake balance, help that car turn into the apex, unwind, back to power. Alright, practice it, Levi, light and long on the brake, get your downshift, light and long, and then carry that brake for balance all the way through, and then off the brake, a little maintenance throttle, so don't accelerate to the apex, just maintain what you have, and then unwind your hands, roll back into power. Now look left as you apply the brake for balance. Just look left and let the track fall away from you. And now bring your hands right down into the apex. Let your peripheral vision get you around 6 there. And light and long on the brakes to apex 7 here. Back to brake, looking right. Look all the way right. There you go. Beautiful. to power. Little brake for balance if you need it. Unwind, roll back into power. Light and long on the brake. Get your downshift. Plenty of time to think about it. So set up in the middle, bring it down to the white line to your apex. After the apex, start to roll into power. You're braking, look right, get your downshift, balance in with the brake. So Levi, find that dirt mound out there as you turn in, look all the way in the distance, get that wheel straight, perfect down the hill, good line through there, excellent. Little brake for balance, coming into 4, using all of the curbing. Shift and then lock on the brake. Left shift here, slow the car down, then balance in with the brake, and then off the brake, little maintenance throttle to carry you there, so no acceleration, just maintain what you have, then unwind out. So white line on my left, just let it fall away. Under 1% braking will get you all the way to that apex. Nice and long, carry it in, hands follow your eyes, set up mid-track into apex, 6, 7, then balance in for 8. Under braking, downshift, look all the way right. Look all the way right down that straightaway. Breathe off that throttle, start to unwind it just out to this white line here, roll back into that power, get that upshift. Light long on the brake, right there, downshift, balance it in, look left, just like turn 6, find that apex early, bring it down to that white line, come onto that curbing, use all of that track. Back to power, back to brake, and then balance in, looking right, all the way through that passenger window. So start to find it in the distance out there, that dirt mound, lift, roll off the throttle, get the car to turn, get it straight, plant it. Perfect, little wide of your apex, Levi, on that time. We're going to slow down here, on the back straight here, we're going to start our rotation. So after these cones here, I want Levi pull all the way to the right. That's going to bring up Paul behind me, followed by Alan and Levi. You're going to go behind the blue 141. Alright guys, let's get back in that rhythm. Mid-track for turn 5 here. Balance in and then start to bring those hands into that apex using the curbing. Unwind to the left here. Just hugging that white line and just watch as it falls away from you. You're looking at the apex through the photographer there. Find it, just bring your hands right down into it. And then you set up mid-track here for your apex on the right using the curbing. Get mid-track balance in with your brake. Back to power briefly, and then back to brake. Your downshift looking right. Back to power, and then we let you breathe off the little brake for balance to get you to the apex, and then back to full power. Make that upshift. Long and light on the brake. Get your downshift, set up mid-track. Bring it down to the inside white line on the left using the curbing of your apex. Brake, downshift looking right, all the way out through that passenger window. Look up into 2, look for that dirt mound in the distance as you turn in, breathe off the throttle, wheel straight, down the hill. Little wide of your apex there, Paul, got that car a little upset. Make sure your hands are straight coming down that drop. Light and long on the brake, your downshift, light and long. Carried in under balance, mid-track, look right, off the throttle, and then a little maintenance throttle to get you there. No acceleration, and then after the apex, accelerate out. Let the track fall away from you, a little light braking. Let it fall away, bring your hands right down into it. Light brake balance into 7 and 8. Then back to power, brake, downshift, look right, all the way through. Don't turn in too early. That'll ruin your exit speed coming out here. Little brake for balance will get you to that apex if you need it. Nice long on the brake. Start that long light brake pressure. Try not to bury it too deep into one there. Coming into two, same thing. Look all the way right for me. As you're turning, coming down the drop, find that dirt mound out there in the distance. Get the nose of that car pointed straight. Way, way wide all that time of your apex. You're 20 feet off of it. Open gear, light long up bridge. Start the process right now. 4 to 3, balance in. Balance with the brake, 2%. Get that front end to grip. Now off the brake. A little maintenance throttle will help you get to that apex of 5. And then as you unwind, roll back into power. Let the track fall away from you here. 1% brake is all it takes. Carry that momentum in. Bring your hands down to the apex. Off the brake. A little wide. Took your eye off of it. Didn't use that brake for balance. Car pushed on you. You probably got onto the accelerator, trying to accelerate to the apex. Remember, we carry our momentum in, light and long on the brake, and then balance, and then unwind, and then we use our speed from the straightaway right here to get us through that corner. Start the process, coming up to 1, long and light on the brake. Get the downshift. Now start looking for your apex. Bring your hands right down into it. Coming into 2 here. Get that downshift. Now look out that right window for me. Bring it down into your apex. Start to look for your exit. See, I slowed down. As I slowed down the pace over the drop, you guys got it correct, so perfect. So Paul, pull to the right for me. Alan, come up behind me. Then Levi. So Alan, you're behind grade 1. You're behind grade 21. So when we're making mistakes like that, I got to clean them up, or we don't. There's definitely going to be some cars in the dirt. So let's really work on that drop. You guys are looking pretty good everywhere else. I'd like to clean up 6 here a little bit here too. So let's practice that. Balance with the brake in from mid-track and then just bring it right on down to your apex. Try not to accelerate. Carry your momentum all the way to it. A little bit of brake balance. Get us in here to 8. Back to power. Back to brake. Get your downshift. Looking right all the way through that passenger window. So back to power. Turn in. Breathe. Little brake for balance will help that car turn in. Back to power. Long and light in the brake. Start looking for your apex over the horizon. From mid-track down to the white line. Hold it onto the curbing and back to power. Back to brake. Looking right. Look all the way out that passenger window for me to set you up for the exit of 2. Now start looking for that dirt mound in the distance as you turn in. Breathe off, get the car straight, let it land. Little wide there, Alan. Touch the brake to balance for 4 here. Bring it into your apex curbing. Process long and light. Downshift, balance in. 2% is all you need. Mid-track, off the brake. Now look for your apex, bring your hands right down to it. Little maintenance throttle, exit out, full power. Let the track fall away, look left, find that apex. Mid-track, and just bring your hands right down into the curbing here as you approach it. Back to brake, balance, brake. Back to power, brake balance, looking right all the way through. Let it breathe, little brake balance coming into apex, unwind it. Back to brake. Downshift, look for your apex over the horizon, balance with the brake in. Down to your accelerate out. A little too much too aggressive there, Alan, so be smoother on the throttle. There you go, nice and smooth exit, very good job. Light and long on the brake. Balance in with the brake, mid-track. Off the brake, a little maintenance throttle, no acceleration, just maintain what you have. Clip this apex here, unwind it. 1% brake, just balancing all the way through. Balance, balance, balance. Bring your hands down into the apex. Once you reach your apex, look through these set of S-turns here. Looking left, brake balance left into the apex. Balancing with the brake, looking right through that passenger side window. Unwind, turn in, little brake balance, help you get there. Light long on the brake. Balance it. Gather up a little bit here. Spacing is up. We have a car in turn 2. We're just going to gather up on the back straight here. Our positioning's a little off. So let's have Alan pull to the right for me. Levi come up behind me. And then Paul come on up behind Levi. And Alan, you're going to get into the back for me. Perfect, guys. Good job. Let's keep this spacing. Coming through these S's the last time here. Just make sure your line's nice and smooth. Those visual scanning skills. We're going to come through 8 and 9. The last time here on the front straight, we're going to start our cool down. So at this point here, cool down, we still do everything correctly to set the precedence. However, I just want you to put those cars into 4th gear and just let them relax. Get a little air across them. We're going to do our cool down lap, and then the next time we're going to exit. So as we slow down the pace considerably here, really clean up your line and clean up all those mistakes so when we come back out, everything's real fresh to you. Now at this speed, if you look into the distance, as you start to turn in here, when you breathe off the throttle, look at that dirt mound in the distance. Get the nose pointed towards that car, look where it puts me, right at my apex. Then you can use all of the curving here through 4. Very nice. Through 5 here, how much difference it looks at a slower rate of speed. Find that apex and just watch as your hands bring right down to it. And then at this pace, just watch how this line on the left here just falls away from us. We set up mid-track, we look left, and just let it fall away. We just balance and just bring our hands right down into it, carrying all that momentum in. Last look through the S's here. Now at this pace, when we get on the brakes here before we turn in, that turning corner left, just look right. Look at that whole radius. Look at how open up it looks. Doesn't look so tight that way. So left turn signal's on for me. We're going to exit this time. Good session, guys. Looking to see that visual scanning. I lighten longer on the brakes. That's what I like to see. There was a couple of moments of a little bit too much initial brake pressure trying to get to that apex. Saw a couple accelerations to the apex too. Cars got a little wobbly. We missed, they got a little unbalanced, I should say. And then, of course, the drop. We lost our vision on there. As soon as we started to heat up the pace a little bit, our visual skills went downhill. So you can see how important it is. The faster we go, that farther ahead we look at that car. Our hands can't react fast enough to pointing and shooting. Doing it that way, that's why I start to find those visual references out in the distance. That really opens up your vision a little more. Trying to get you away from that target fixation. I wouldn't be very professional if I just let you drive out there and make mistakes. So let's clean them up, set precedents, go on out there next session, have a good run. But your skills have come up. You're looking really good. I'm really starting to see those heads turn. You're opening up that vision. But the speeds come up, pointing and shooting, target fixation. But we'll work on it. Looking good, and everybody's looking smooth. Couple of big moments out there, but we'll clean them up. So back into our positions. Me in the front, Levi behind me, Paul to my left, and then Alan behind Paul. Sure the front end hits those reflectors, and then first gear, set those parking brakes for me, shut them off.